The 255 million rand Free State asbestos roofing case is set to resume in the High Court in Bloemfontein today. The focus is still on Moroadi Cholota. That's former personal assistant to Ace Magashule, who's challenging her extradition from the United States. Now, she argues that the process was unlawful. Before the main trial can actually start, the court is holding a separate hearing to determine whether her extradition was in fact legally carried out. Let's continue understanding where we are in this process and bring in SABC News reporter Makgala Masiteng, who joins us now live from inside court in Bloemfontein. And Makgala, we've been there for several days now. It feels like weeks even. Help us get a better sense of whether or not there's any kind of movement in this trial within a trial and whether there's any sign of when the main case will start.
Indeed, Ayanda. So today we are expecting both the state and the defense to submit their written heads of arguments and also start to present those final arguments before Judge Philip Lobster today. So what we are expecting to see, of course, is for the state from their side to start highlighting those key evidence that came out during the examination of the two state witnesses that were brought forth, of course, in this trial. Within a trial, we are expecting them to, of course, touch on those factors that are supporting their case. As you know, that they have been maintaining the fact that everything was done by the book, that everything in terms of the extradition of accused 17 Moroadi Cholota was done lawfully. So we are expecting them to highlight those issues, of course, trying to convince Judge Philip Lobster to rule in their favor on this matter. But of course, we are expecting the defense to also do the same today, as they are also expected to submit those written heads of arguments and also do those presentations, of course, where we are expecting to also that they will be highlighting those key evidence, especially when it comes to what they have managed in terms of revealing during those cross-examination, during the cross-examination of those two state witnesses. You'd remember that last week, Advocate Loiso Makapela, representing Moroadi Cholota, did indicate that she is happy with what they have been able to get out of the two state witnesses. When she was asked whether they will be bringing forth some kind of evidence or also calling the state witness, she did indicate that they will not be calling any witnesses on this matter. They are actually satisfied with what they've managed to get out of those cross-examinations. So we're expecting her to also touch on those factors that are supporting their case, of course, as a last-minute opportunity to convince the judge to rule in their favor. Of course, you would remember that we are here today. We've been listening to this trial within a trial because Moroadi Cholota is adamant that her extradition back to South Africa was unlawful. And of course, we have seen during that cross-examination of the first and the second state witness what are some of the issues that they were trying to get out of those two state witnesses, as they have been arguing that Moroadi Cholota was unfairly treated and the fact that her extradition back to South Africa was unlawful, as they have been indicating that she even spent 4 months in prison. They said that that was because of the information that have been provided by the state. But of course, we are also expecting that the legal representation of accused 13 on this matter, Ace Magashule, would also be making their final arguments today, as they also joined in this trial within a trial where they were given the opportunity, of course, to also cross-examine the state witnesses on this matter. So we are expecting them to also bring forth their arguments, and that, of course, will somehow be wrapping up this trial within a trial, and we'll hear, of course, in terms of the judgment on this matter, when are we expecting to see that happening. Of course, we have seen that the judge did give other accused a chance not to come, of course, to the court, as this matter is focusing on Moroadi Cholota and Ace Magashule, who, of course, also joined on this matter. But of course, next week we are expecting the trial to officially start after this trial within a trial. You'd remember that initially the trial was set to begin on the 15th of April until the 23rd of June, but we'll see how long that will go.